What's up, everyone? Welcome to this day of Philly Sports History for April 30th, 2023. I'm your host, Jim Montgomery, and I guess we'll start with the draft. Howie had another great day, I feel, at the draft. Drafted Keely Ringo out of Georgia as cornerback in the fourth round. Picked up a possible backup quarterback candidate in the sixth round. Took another cornerback in the seventh. But I think the big story of the day was he made the trade for DeAndre Swift, basically for a 2025 fourth round pick. DeAndre Swift is from Philly, played at St. Joe's Prep. So I saw a lot of Detroit people on Twitter that were like, oh, the Eagles got fleeced. Why are the Eagles fans celebrating? And I think to me, that goes to show just the difference in mindset of a franchise. Because for us, I think it's a no lose situation for the Eagles. I mean, sure, you're giving up a fourth round pick 2 years from now, but Swift comes in, doesn't do shit. He's on a contract year. Who cares? No harm, no foul. If he comes in and does well, I mean, that's great. And he's not going to necessarily have to be the guy. They have some depth and they have a decent running back room. They just don't have like that alpha. And the Eagles have won in the past with like a three-headed rushing attack or a couple guys doing this. So I think it's a low-risk, high-reward move for Howie. And it just, to me, it goes to show he's out there playing whatever game he's playing. Everybody else is playing go fish. Like, it's crazy. Also got some draft picks coming back now for next year. So they're going to be set up moving forward. I don't know. I haven't had a chance now to sit down and look at it. I will do next week. I'm out for testing for work, so I'm not sure what the schedule is going to look like yet, but we'll do the draft recap and go into it. But on the surface, obviously these guys have to work out. I mean, not every single one of these guys is going to be a starter or a great pick, but it's a law of averages. More of them have to work out than don't. But I think he did what he had to do. They're in a good position right now. And, I mean, I'm happy with him. So, more on that coming up later this week when we do the draft recap. Good win for the Phils. They've taken the first two games of that series against the Astros. They won 6-1 yesterday. Wheeler went 6 innings, didn't allow a run. Castellanos and Clemens both hit home runs. And it's fun. They're starting to really click. And like I said, I like this team. The chemistry is there. And then you have Bryce looming on the horizon. Big doctor's appointment for him tomorrow. Fingers crossed he gets some good news. Speaking of injuries and not so good news, doesn't look like Joe's going to play tomorrow. But didn't come out that said he was definitely out. It was just Doc saying, if I was a betting man, I would say no. But again, there's no benefit for him to say one way or the other. So we'll see. It's like I've been saying, it's going to come down to the other guys, and you need Toby to step up. You need James to have a good game. You need Maxey to finally play well against the Celtics. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. It's definitely going to be one of those things that are tougher to go. But then the next game's Wednesday, so maybe he's ready to go Wednesday. And I mean, if you get lucky and you steal one in Boston tomorrow, then all of a sudden you let Joe rest till Friday. I mean, so we'll see. There's options, but more on that as well as the week goes on. All right, today we are going to hop in the way, way, way back machine, and we're going to go back to April 30th, 1887. The Phillies beat the New York Giants, 15-9 in their home opener. And this home opener was different than others because it was the first game ever at the Philadelphia baseball grounds, which was renamed National League Park in 1895. In the early 1900s, it became known as the Baker Bowl after owner William Baker. It was located at 2622 North Broad. Basically, the block that it sat on, it was Broad Street, Huntington Avenue, Lehigh, and 15th Street. So basically, Broad and Lehigh is where the stadium is. And if you've been down there, you can see it's kind of a funky shape. And if you look on, just do a Google search for Baker Bowl, and you can see the way it had some funky shape to it the way the outfield lines were. But the Baker Bowl, the Phillies played there until 1938 when they moved to Connie Mack Stadium. The Eagles played there for 2 years. The Baker Bowl was originally, it seated 12,500 people. It burnt down after 1895. So they are not completely burnt down, but the grandstands burnt down, so they rebuilt it. After that, they increased the capacity to 18,000, which is funny considering now the Citizens Bank Park seats like 43. But it was demolished in 1850. But some of the cool things about the Baker Bowl, it was the first World Series or first stadium that the World Series was attended by the president, which was Woodrow Wilson, and that was in 1915. Babe Ruth played his last game at the Baker Bowl ever. I believe he was on the Boston Braves at that point. The Negro League World Series was played there. Just a cool thing. There's a historical marker down there now. I've never seen it. I think it's relatively new that they approved it for a historical marker. But on this day, back in 1887, the Baker Bowl opened. It was known, though, as the Philadelphia Baseball Grounds, later National League Park, but then commonly to everybody as the Baker Bowl. So, and the Phillies won that game, which is good, 15-6 over the Giants. All right, our last day of Eagles draft pick spotlights, and we're gonna spotlight one of the best today, I think. Fred Barnett, the Gunnison, Mississippi native. He was a third-round pick, number 77 overall, out of Arkansas State in 1990. Arkansas Fred played 6 years with the Eagles, made the Pro Bowl in 92. Very solid career for Fred. He had 308 catches for 4,600 yards, 28 touchdowns, and that was including getting hurt in the fourth game of the 1993 season. He did finish his career 2 years later in Miami, or finished his career after the Eagles with 2 years in Miami. Then the other thing he did, he was a tight end coach for the Memphis Maniacs of the original XFL. One of my all-time favorite Fred Barnett plays, though, was that 95-yard catch when against the Bills up in the old Rich Stadium. Basically, Bruce Smith, like somehow, I don't know how Randall escaped getting sacked, but he ducked under Bruce Smith, was scrambling around the end zone, stopped, and just let off a bomb. Fred Barnett jumped up, grabbed it, and took it in for the touchdown. And then Barnett always had the backhanded spike. But it was a good time. Like 1990, when he came in as a rookie, it was him and Calvin Williams, and they were a pretty decent tandem of receivers. And it's just a shame that next year when Randall got hurt, because their offense, man, with Randall, Fred Barnett, Calvin Williams, and that defense, that 91 team, it's still, unfulfilled expectations for that team, man. Still depressing to this day to think about. But Arkansas Fred Barnett, third round, number 77 overall in 1990. On this day, back in 1887, the Baker Bowl officially opened as the home of the Phillies. Good win for the Phils. They play tonight. I guess it's the ESPN Sunday Night Baseball game against the Astros. Looking for the sweep. Bailey Falters on the mound. And then they go out to L.A. to play the Dodgers for a 3-game set. Howie, thank you. Howie Roseman won the draft. Basically, everybody's talking about Howie and this and that. Now, obviously, it has to come to fruition on the field, but they're right where they need to be. So I'll take it. Howie Roseman for MVP. Looks like Joe's out tomorrow, but he should be getting his MVP award on Tuesday. Maybe they'll give him the MVP award and it'll have superpowers and he'll be able to play Wednesday. But more on that. I will have a draft recap coming up later this week. I'm going to work hard to get the Sixers Celtics playoff preview together for today. Just obviously a lot of things going on. I'm going to try to, though. I have basically the outline, so it might be a quick one, but look for that as well. But this has been This Day in Philly Sports History. I'm Jim Montgomery. Go have yourselves a Sunday. Stay dry. Good luck to everyone running Broad Street today. And until next time, I'll see you when I see you.